Good morning, everybody, and this is your SP 500 setups for today. So just starting off on the weekly, because I think it's important to understand what's going on, and let me get this level exact prices on it right now. So you can see this previous swing high on the weekly before we got our all-time high, and that is at 47.43, 47.44, roughly in that area. Now just below that is this area here, where you can see these three little tails here, and that's at 47.20. Probably goes up a little bit to 47.30. So between 47.20 and 47.30 is another fairly strong level. No fractal there, but we do have some interaction on a weekly bar here. Now we are overbought on the weekly, on the oscillators, so you can see that. Extremely overbought at the moment. So yeah, when you look at this and you see the weekly bar forming, you would expect a pullback of sort to either 46.42 or 46.14, 4600. That's kind of, you know, the logic that that you can see at the moment, and that's on the weekly bar. But the trend is up, so it doesn't really matter till where it pulls back on the weekly. That is just another opportunity to jump in long again. So that's a long-term view. But when we start looking at what's going on currently, so let's start with the 8 hour, and you can see the importance of this zone between 47.43, or let's just round that up, so it's 47.44 and 47.17. You can see there is a lot of price action between that, and if we go back to the left, back to where the all-time high was, you will see there is another zone there between these two levels. So price came back quite aggressively into this zone. And then we formed this kind of inside bar in the middle of nowhere. So nothing is concrete here, whether it's going to fall or whether it's going to rise. Could very well just set up a big range at the moment. So oscillators have eased off quite nicely, no longer overbought, pointing to the downside. So nothing really indicating that we're going to get a trend to the upside moving at the moment. And that's how quickly things change, sort of from yesterday morning to this morning. Now when we drop down to 3 hours, that's your cue, and just hit that like button for us, and drop us a comment or share on social media, would be greatly appreciated. Now 3 hour is a complete different picture. So yes, we do have a crossover of the moving averages, which does give us an early indication that the trend could be reversing. However, we are still above the 150 EMA, and remember, that's our trend. So 150 EMA shows us the trend. We then have a pin bar, a very juicy pin bar, to be quite frank. That is roughly a 200 point pin bar, or 0.46 move of the market. So almost 0.5% move of the market, which is in one pin bar. So what that's indicating is that there are buyers that are respecting this zone. They've let price come back in, and they've jumped in because they've seen the importance of this zone. So that is the one scenario, that this is a pin bar that is setting up for a move up. And when you look at the 8 hour, it's a different picture, because what you have here is that we haven't really closed properly on the structure. So from an 8 hour perspective, this is not really a decent setup. However, on the 3 hour, it is. So when you start getting the confusion like that, you need to be very careful about what you're going to be doing, because it is basically extremely volatile, and nobody really knows what the next move is going to be. And remember, we do have some data this week, and we've got non-farm payrolls at the end of the week on Friday. So just, you're going to need to keep your wits about you. Okay, so firstly, hindsight being a perfect science on the hour yesterday. Yesterday we were looking for pullbacks onto structure for an opportunity to buy. And you can see, I'm not going to go through all of them again, but there was a level in this area, 47.76. Then there was at 47.71. Then you had 47. Where was it? There, 47.58. You had 47.50. None of them held. All of them just plummeted. Okay, so we came back onto this weekly level at 43.44, but look at this, zero support found here, all resistance. So this level is still very much in play, and what you can do is start switching left and start adding the micro levels in. So there's one right there, that's not going to add any value to us. Let's pick up this tail of this pin bar, which is now validated now that prices moved past it. That would be the closest thing to a support structure that I can see. So this was a short opportunity. You can see we broke below, came up, cross over the moving averages. So hindsight's always a perfect science, but you can pick up on the structure here to the left, and that's at 47.85, 47.86 area. Look at the support that was there for 2 days. We broke below it last Friday. We had a gap up and then a move up to it. So when you drop down to the 15-minute, you can see again, hindsight, perfect science. Yes, we'd had a crossover the moving average, but we were below the 150. And then if I just fine tune this level to the left, you'll see there's another little micro level right there at 47.88. And look what happened. Inside bar off that structure and then follow through. So, if you didn't want that, this would have been the decent opportunity for a short 76-point gain. The reason I'm showing this to you is because I'm kicking myself, because that is what we should have seen. But I will brush it off to the holidays. Then the other thing is, you see this pin bar here. Yes, it's in pre-market trade, but it is a pin bar, and pin bars are extremely important. And you can see how we broke through it, then came back and tested it here, and there was my next opportunity right there. 50, 60 odd point risk, and it just plummeted thereafter. Anyway, hindsight's always a perfect science, but what we have at the moment is when the market opened, which is this area here, we were pretty much confused. We got going, and what we got going to was a rejection of the Friday low, which is there at 47.54, and you can see all the way up, rejected it, not very neatly, but nevertheless it is a rejection, and then we got going again. Okay, so, and again, oscillators separated. When you looked at this structure, oscillators were grouped to the upside. So everything was here indicating that we should have been looking for a short option as well. So, for today, first things first, this level here is still very much in play. 47.54, 47.50 is the next area. That's kind of where we're bouncing off here. I'm just going to use some of these levels from the top here. So that should be 47.50, 47.49.9. So that is definitely 47.50. Look at how many times we've interacted with that. So we need to get above this zone. So first things first, if we can get above 47.50 and hold it, I'd be very wary of 47.54. So that's kind of the area that I'd want to get above, to be honest. So I want to get above that, fill the base, and then we're looking for a move to the upside. You'll probably be capped by this area here at 47.66. For a move to the downside, just bear in mind we've got massive area of weekly. Let's just find that weekly level. There it is here. So we've got this weekly level of support here at 47.44. So if we do sort of break below this 47.44, and then I'd expect us to get below 47.38 or 39 as well, then you'd be looking for this next weekly level at 47.17, and possibly even continuation to 4700 all the way down here. So that's kind of my view at the moment. So if it is going to continue to the downside, then you need to wait for some form of rejection. But if you just look at this on the hour, big move, move up, second move, and this is starting to look like a double bottom of sort, although very volatile, very messy. And we also have diversions here on the hour, so a little bit skeptical of still chasing shorts, but I'm also skeptical of picking up any long. So moral of the story is small position size, pay attention to these rejection areas here, 47.54, 47.50, pay attention to 47.44, and then, you know, if we do continue in this channel that we have, so it's basically a spike down and then into a channel, if we do continue in that, then I think we should be looking for 47.17. If you do have time, 5-minute or even 6-minute charts will also help you. So long as you are below the 150, that would be a downtrend. If you're above the 150, that's going to be looking for an uptrend. So that's kind of from a 5-minute perspective. Anyway, guys, that's my view at the moment. It is looking extremely complicated. So no clear-cut direction just yet. But if we are going to continue to the downside, which is kind of what a lot of people are expecting, then, you know, I would expect us to break through all these levels, this last line of defense here at 47.17, and then I think 4700 would hold us up. So I'm still a buyer. I'm still a net buyer looking for opportunities. Just want to get the right opportunity so we don't have to take any stops. Anyway, that's kind of my view for today. I hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.